This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
That was weird.
Michael ran out of steam on that one. Ooh, he did.
3, 2.
He almost forgot what one was.
We just talked about tone and what we should have, and Michael Dean just, it's like a balloon that you just let go.
That'd be like if your coach at halftime is like, I want you to go out there and fight.
And then he falls down.
I know.
Okay,
way to go, Michael Dean.
We love you, man.
We really do. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Al. We've got a treat for you today. But before we get started, again, we just want to acknowledge it's Memorial Day, and we are thinking of all those veterans who have made the ultimate sacrifice for all of our freedom. We appreciate you. So we are taking a look back at some of our favorite celebrity discussions, like the time Al and Erica got all fired up about how Robert De Niro can't keep up with his ex-wife's spending habits. Watch.
If you're going to be in a union, a partnership, a financial contract with somebody, be very transparent about what the expectation is. That is not too much to ask. And the more money that is involved, the more risk there truly is, because there's more to lose. How are you going to say, this is how much you're going to spend on a credit card when the IRS is like, where's my $6 million? If you have to do 2 more projects in order to take care of past tax debt, you ain't got no money.
Yeah.
So why is this even a thing?
Wait, this is a person that is consuming without joy, just buying things constantly.
You don't know
and
that.
It does seem like he was responsible and Erica, could you even figure out what to spend $300,000 a month on?
It's not about you and Jeff keep getting caught up on the amount of money. $275, $375,000. Yeah, but here's the thing. It could be $37 for somebody. Let's take them out of the equation and just put it out there. You need to stop selling a dream that you cannot maintain. And if you are going to be recipient of said dream, then if this dream cannot be maintained together, then you need to be able to let the dream go too. So all these people who think that their house is the mint, money is not printed at your home. So figure out what you're going to do until your days are over. Otherwise, you're just leaving a major tax burden and a lot of debt to your children.
She did spend an erroneous amount of money.
That was it was abhorrent, and that was my issue. It's not about him not being able to provide a lifestyle. When somebody's spending $500,000 a month, and after a while you can't keep up with that, I don't think you should be looked at as a failure, Jeff.
You guys picked out some great words.
Yes, I used abhorrent.
Erroneous and abhorrent. I was trying to think of one and I couldn't, and it was my turn.
Your turn.
It's egregious.
Yeah, there you go.
It was in my ears, so it's all
okay.
All right, now we all know what kind of man Sam likes, and no, he's not spending 5 or 6 days a week in the gym. I know where this is going, and Jeff's get ready to get fired up. Watch Sam double down on her love of dad bods. Take a look.
I've always said, like when they show like a beautiful body, like Zac Efron, don't Al. Al says he doesn't have a beautiful body. Now, Zac Efron, to me, has a beautiful body. To me, I like a little, dirt under the nails, little pudge, because I think
I'm right here, Sam.
I think going to the gym every day is just not appealing to me. I'd rather have the person that I know on Friday night, we're gonna eat chips, salsa, a little margarita. Men are much more driven by attractive physicality. Women are driven by what's within. If you make me feel good, empowered, and uplifted, I'm putty in your hands. Does that make sense?
Putty, you mean from their fat backs?
It's true, and I know I'm not alone, because every survey, I know you don't like surveys, Jeff, but after every survey, women are more about how you make us feel.
I'll die on this hill.
Please.
Get real.
Please.
There's no way.
Step up for reality.
You know why I don't like surveys? Because everyone's lying.
You don't think that most women would rather be with like a Paul Rudd, who's funny, makes you feel good, than a Zac Efron, who's nice to look at, but...
How do you know he doesn't make you feel good? Because he have a six-pack?
Yeah.
That's true.
Aren't you body shaming?
Maybe he's the best of both worlds.
Okay, so
Zac Efron's got a great shot. He seems like a really sweet guy.
Yeah, we just won the argument, Jeff. You can walk off. Just drop your bat, try to run the bases. You won.
Okay.
Oh, I like it.
All right, you're the umpire of TBL.
All right, this next story got me all worked up. Remember when Cardi B tweeted out that men should spend more money on Valentine's Day? Well, I obviously had something to say about it. Let's watch. I think paying the mortgage is sexy. What do you think about that?
Yes.
You abandoned Valentine's Day.
I boycotted it. It's over at my house.
Why would you boycott Valentine's
no, it's over.
Day?
Because I'm not putting up with society's rules anymore. I'm doing my own thing, and Valentine's Day's off the list.
I don't
How does
believe
Jordan
you.
feel about that?
She doesn't have a say.
No, I don't believe him. I guarantee you did something for Valentine's Day. I guarantee you did.
I promise you I did not.
Really?
I ate my kids' snacks on the couch all day and watched golf. Happy Valentine's Day to me. Listen, I'm not down with Hallmark holidays. I don't like these made-up holidays. I like treating my wife nice on just weekends, you know what I mean? Or during the week. Why do I need to say on this day you have to buy flowers and go get a card that you didn't write, and then the bigger the present, the more you love them? Get out of here.
I'm Team Jeff on this one.
I live for those holidays.
Do you really?
I live for them. I wake up literally like Snow White with bluebirds coming in the window.
So you could buy your affection?
No, it just makes me feel like I get excited for appointments, right? Not like.
You like the dentist?
Yeah, just appointments. You're like getting your brakes done? Okay.
You got surgery scheduled. I love it.
We were lucky to get a chance to talk to some of our favorite celebs, including one of my idols, one of my comedic idols. George Lopez gave us a healthy dose of inspiration, and he also confessed he might not be in the stand-up game for too much longer. Take a look. There's kind of rumors that you might be retiring from stand-up, even though you dropped an hour special last summer. Do you see that being your last stand-up, and could you see yourself retiring and moving on to different things?
Yeah, man, I can see myself retiring from stand-up. I could see that as the last stand-up, but you know, stand-up was an engine that took me further than I ever imagined that I would have ever gone, and I couldn't have gone there alone. So it doesn't mean that I don't love it. It doesn't mean that I'll never appreciate it, because every morning that I get up, I thank the ability to make people laugh first. And you know, I'm about to turn 60, and would I enjoy spending the next 10 years enjoying the things that I've been able to do the last 40 years? Yes.
You're an inspiration, just like Al said. I listen to you on all sorts of podcasts, the latest Bill and Bert's podcast, and you were talking about how you put in your head early on, right after you started doing stand-up, that you're going to have your own show. You're going to be the first Hispanic male with his own show, and you lived it, and you did it, and you put those words in your head, and you lived it, you walked the walk. What advice do you have for your daughter? Because she's coming up in the same path you are. She's getting famous on TikTok. She's a comedy writer. What advice do you have for her in this world?
You know, mine is a very talented young lady, but what I have that mine doesn't have is the heartache. So she says, you know, I'm not anywhere you were when you were 25, but I'm like, hey, listen, my heartache is mine. You have to find your motivation, and it can't be mine, father or not.
Wow, wise words, sir.
But I love her.
And she's funny. I love it. All right, George, everyone knows you're a golf guy, right? So working on this new movie must have been like heaven. Did the golf storyline draw you to the role because it's a slight departure from that sort of usual comedic work we see from you?
Now, JoJo hit me a nice fade. Sponge cake. I would say that I worked more on my acting game than I did on my golf game, and that's not a bad thing either, because I could have really been embarrassed by this movie, and no amount of editing would have been able to help that I was awful. But I don't think I was awful in this thing. I think I did great, and I think that if you're almost 60 like I am, and you continue to open people's eyes as to what you can and can't do, I don't know if there's a limit on things that I can and can't do.
I just want to listen to George Lopez over and over again, man.
George, a lot of people, you know, they look at you as like a funny guy, but you're truly inspirational, and I respect the hell out of that, man.
That's awesome.
If you make enough mistakes, you become inspirational.
It's true.
Jeff, you can do that. You're on your way, buddy.
How humble is he?
He's great. That should be on a bumper sticker. If you make enough mistakes, you'll be inspirational.
As long as you learn from them, that's how you climb the ladder.
Exactly. Coming up on DBL, we are looking back at some of our best interviews, including Kelly Osbourne, who did not hold back on talking about her own sobriety. And she has 1 million TikTok followers, but no house. Meet Nikita Crump, who's homeless by choice. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Kelly Osbourne became a household name when she was just 17 with her family's hit reality show, of course, The Osbournes. She has since dominated the airwaves as a host, and she has a brand new podcast. We caught up with her earlier this year in today's Encore, Chatting with the Stars. Please welcome the one and only Kelly Osbourne.
Yeah, yo!
Good girl.
Hi.
Kelly, we have so much to talk to you about, but we also want to check in with you. 2 weeks ago, you announced your relapse. Now, addiction hits very close to home for me, and I really appreciate your transparency. It breaks down that stigma. You're helping people by speaking out. How are you doing right now?
You know, really good. I am very open about what it is that happened and what I'm doing to get myself back on track, because it's all part of this journey, and I need to be honest because it's the only way I know how to hold myself accountable. I am doing an outpatient program again, just like a little therapy pick-me-up, for lack of a better term, and it's great. Like I want to get to the root of what it is that made me believe that I could drink like a normal person, because I can't, and just focus on staying happy and healthy, because I really was before I started drinking again. Like, I don't understand what happened, and that's the nature of addiction and how everything can just be fine. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what happened? Like, I didn't expect this. So it was difficult, a bump in the road, but we all have it. So I just wanted to be open and to the point about it, and kind of tackle it head on rather than lying about it, because I believe you're only as sick as your secrets, and if I could have gone on and nobody would have known.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would have made me any better.
I think you're saving so many lives right now by saying this and just being open and honest, and I just appreciate that. Also, such a fan from the Osbournes. Okay. Moving on. I was like, oh my God, I have to freak out. I did want to ask you about getting sober, and is it harder being an Osbourne and having to get sober? I also kind of wanted to go off script here and just ask you, what are your thoughts on being California sober? I know we heard from Demi Lovato that she sometimes drinks, sometimes smokes weed, and you're saying I can't. Wanted to know your take on what that means to you.
Okay, so I can't sometimes drink. That doesn't happen for me. So I don't understand that. That doesn't fall into my brain at all. That's not an option for me. Look, for me, life is the pursuit of happiness, and it's about what makes you happy. If you know, everybody works differently. There's not one set of rules for everyone, because when it comes to happiness, because it doesn't work that way. People have asked me about this. the only thing I can say is when people are like that, it means that they need a little bit of love and support, and something's not really going right in their life. So instead of sitting here and criticizing and dissecting her like everyone else does, I'm just going to sit here and say, I think a little bit more love and support and kindness, and I don't agree with it. That's all.
I appreciate that honesty. Thank you.
And I gotta tell you, your background's giving me joy. All those cause dolls.
I love
it's like goals.
that.
I love them. I'm obsessed.
We're all jealous over here.
For many reasons.
Thank you so much, Kelly Osbourne, for stopping by DBL. Make sure to check out her podcasting
Thank you so much for
debut.
having me, ladies.
We absolutely adore you. The Kelly Osbourne and Jeff Beecher Show. You got to check it out on Podcast One. Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly.
Welcome back to DBL. 29-year-old social media star Nikita Crump is homeless by choice despite having a full-time job. She chooses to live in her car. Tori spoke with her earlier about her decision. But first, here's a look at Nikita's story.
Hello and welcome to the backseat of my car.
For many people, moving into the backseat of your car by choice doesn't make a lot of sense. But for Nikita Crump, it came down to cents, as in dollars and cents.
I couldn't afford to go out and get cheap food with friends. I was skipping meals to save money, and I was slowly and steadily going into debt.
She documents her experiences, the good, the bad, and everything in between on YouTube and on TikTok, where her quirky videos about daily life helped her gain 1 million followers.
Hey, what's up, guys? Me again. Still homeless. This is my morning and night routine COVID edition.
It's an unconventional decision during these extremely unconventional times.
So when I say I chose this, I did. I chose it, but it's not that simple.
Nikita, welcome to DBL. It is such an interesting and extreme move to decide to live in your car. I am fascinated by this.
I have a random airplane pillow, and I shove that in one side.
Talk to me about why you decided to do that and how it actually has something to do with anxiety at the heart of that.
Well, in a nutshell, I had been struggling financially for months and just not being able to enjoy my life the way an average person could. So after enough months of dealing with a bunch of anxiety about that, I said, screw this. Let me simplify my bills and cut out the biggest one, which is obviously rent and utilities.
Now, you started living in your car before the pandemic hit. So I was wondering, what has been the biggest challenge living in the car during the lockdown?
Once there was orders to stay at home and I don't have a home, I felt like like I had nowhere to go. I can't stay cooped up in my car all the time. And I rely on public places for showers and restrooms. So that didn't exist for me anymore.
Wow.
Very limited places that offered people to go inside. So I would have to plan when I would drink water so that I wouldn't need a restroom and go stand in line for 30 minutes to enter a Target to go use one.
Wow. Do you ever fear for your safety living in your vehicle?
Yeah, I definitely do. Most nights it is crossing my mind. If I hear someone around my vehicle, I'm wondering what they're up to. I'm wondering if they're noticing that I'm there. And I have a few times had people knock on my vehicle, and that is honestly very terrifying for me. Even if it is just security or something, it is very scary for me. I always think that somebody could be up to no good.
Okay, Nikita, you're kind of famous on TikTok, you got YouTube, you have a big social media following. So we gotta talk about that, okay?
Welcome to a new series of Nikita's Life Lessons.
Some of our viewers who are watching right now might criticize your choice. So I want you to have the floor to say, all right, what do you respond to people who think you're trivializing the real problem of homelessness by trying to make it, let's say, look cool or trying to get followers on TikTok? The floor is yours to give your response to them.
They see that I'm happy today, I'm healthy, I'm living the way I would like to, aside from living in a car. They don't see what it was like for me before this. I was renting a very small room in a house. I did have a roof over my head, but again, I was really filled with anxiety. I was really not in a good mental place. And that struggle with money was really getting to me, enough so that I thought living in a car would be better than the way that I was living. That has turned out to be true.
Also, I just think this is a much more relatable story to a lot of people going through the pandemic, where mental health and anxiety of how to pay is so overwhelming that you might make that kind of sacrifice so that you can actually live your days without that burden. So I wish you all the best. Please stay safe and let us know how it all goes. We'll be right back.
DBL. We've been sharing our best moments with you, and one of the most surprising things that has happened on the show is when Tori unleashed her inner country star. Have a listen. Go for it, Tori.
When I'm hosting, I feel the most in. Oh, is it not supposed to be now?
No, that's okay.
Yes, no, go for it.
You said one
Go
day.
for it.
I wrote some lyrics down. Here we go. If you know Daily Blast, we've got the best cast. And I'll tell you one thing for sure, we're built to last.
Yes. That's pretty good. Yeah. She sounded like Reba McEntire and Jodie Foster.
Are you serious right now? I love you,
run away
Tori.
from an audition.
Nobody picked up on that shade of mine. That was straight shade.
I thought that was great.
What do you mean?
Jodie Foster?
She's an actress.
I know. Everybody thought I was like, oh, Tori, you sound like Reba McEntire. I said
Yeah, but you
Reba
could've-
But then
So
you
you could've
said
been a
Reba
little bit more
McEntire and erased
obscure.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster is obscure.
No,
She's
it's not. 'Cause who
For
knows
a
if she-
country singer?
Yeah, but you could have said like Michael Jordan. He's not a singer, obviously. We don't know.
That wouldn't be, that's way too obscure.
No, that's funny. That's comedy.
I am so done. DBL is new every day. We'll see you guys all tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye.